Hi, and welcome back to Blue's Garden. Potatoes and mushrooms and more, oh my. I am beginning some outdoor tasks. Got to get ready. I am planting my potatoes, all my seed potatoes outside. I am prepping my garlic bed, do the spring fertilize and feed, and then remulch. I am doing some not new. I did a small trial last year of wine cap mushroom. I'm expanding that this year. So prepping the bins that the wine cap mushrooms are going to grow in outside. And then also a little bit of other few little tasks outside, as well as getting the watering system set up for the new spring year. I take it all apart during winter because I don't want the automatic watering stuff to freeze. So let's take a look at the garden beds to start. Prepping them by removing the straw mulch from last year, doing some fertilizing, and then adding new straw mulch over the top. My raised bed. That is a grow bag filled with nothingness. I'm going to take all the old straw on. I put this bed to sleep for the winter last October-ish, right after I planted the garlic, probably end of October, early November. And I always mulch it because I don't want bare ground at the end of the season. So none of that garlic was showing at the end of the season when I planted in October, basically, end of October, early in November. So I'm going to take as much of the straw off as I can without wrecking the place. Clear it all up. Once I get it all, and I'll just save that straw for somewhere else. Clear it all up. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. The reason I clear it up in the spring is I want to add nitrogen. I want to add a couple of different fertilizers, mostly stressing nitrogen because that's what these need. So the bone meal is 4, 12, 0, 4%, 12%, 0% of nitrogen, potassium, and phosphate. Nitrogen, phosphate, and potassium. Bone meal, I'm going to top dress, side dress all of the garlic. This is just a generic feeding for the soil. But garlic and onions, which will be the other half, really are heavy nitrogen feeders. So the bone meal is just a start because I just want to feed the soil. And this is a slow, granular, organic fertilizer. Next up is tomato tone, which is kind of an even, I think it's a 3, 4, 6. I can't really see it. But I'm pretty sure it's a fairly even, broad spectrum. And that is really to feed the soil as well and to give some of the micronutrients that the garlic needs. And then most important is bone meal, which is a 1200, which means it's a heavy nitrogen. It is a very fine fertilizer, so I don't put quite as much on because a little bit goes a long way. But it is, like I said, the garlic and onions are going to feed a lot of nitrogen. So once it's all fertilized, next up, another couple of inches on top of straw. And that is to retain moisture and help prevent the sun's UV from damaging the soil and any of the bacteria that live in the soil. The mulch is important to keep the water in and suppress the weeds, and also, like I said, protect against the harmful rays of the UV, which would kill off, if you left your soil bare, would kill off the top couple of inches. Let's take a look at getting the grow bags ready for my wine cap mushrooms. Last year I did a small experiment. This year I've got a lot more spore, wine cap mushroom spore from North Spore. They are a great local, to me anyway, East Coast mushroom growers. Wine cap mushrooms love a hardwood to grow on, so I'm going to use Already have in there a bunch of hardwood plum and cherry wood from my trees. And I'm going to add cherry and oak chips, wood chips. Now, I have this mushroom spore, wine cap mushroom spore from North Spore, which sells mushroom spore. And I've had success already. This year, I am now going to basically do about twice as much as I've grown in the past. I'm going to take about half of the bag of the mushroom spore, and I'm going to break it up into kind of crumbles, spread it out evenly, and then I'm going to add in the hardwood chips, the oak and cherry hardwood chips, on top of the cherry wood and plum wood that's already in the bags, as well as some straw and other stuff. And I have an additional bag which already has the cherry wood and plum wood in the bag, as well as a mix of straw. And I'm going to take the final remaining half of that mushroom cap spore, and I'm going to add about 3 inches or so of straw on top. To these, once everything is covered up, I am then going to water it in heavily. Let's take a look at dealing with the seed potato. I've got a bunch of seed potato from Wood Prairie Farm, and I have, as I have traditionally for years, grow in 25-gallon grow bags. So let's take a look at getting the seed potato soil ready and then prepped and get them in. Wood Prairie Family Farm seed potato. I've used these guys for half dozen years now. Jim, Caleb, and Megan, and all of them up there. Great family, wonderful product, organic seed potato. I get it, order it early, and I ask. They have the great option of asking you when you'd like your ship date. So my grow bags are 25-gallon grow bags, 1/3 peat, 1/3 compost, and about 1/3 of last year's soil. I will add some fertilizer in there to refresh all of that. And let's start out with Adirondack Blue. About 1/3 so mix everything thoroughly, and about 1/3 of the way up, which is usually about 6 inches or so, is the dirt line. And I will take and add 3 of the Adirondack Blue seed potato for each grow bag. So got one grow bag here with about 3 of the seed potato in there. You can see them. There they are, patiently awaiting some sunlight and soil to grow. Then I take a mix of the peat and last year's soil, and I add another 6 inches or so to top it off. A couple of inches, a good 4 inches or so. Add in, this is that straw that I used, that I pulled from the old garden. So the straw, mix in some of the dirt, straw and dirt, straw and dirt, straw and dirt. This is my grow bag mix, and label everything. Sarpo Una, same thing. 6 inches of soil on the bottom, add some fertilizer in there, and then add 3 or so. Sarpo Una is a slightly smaller one and a new variety, so I'm going to add 4 into this one, spore seed potato. And then this is the mix of the straw and dirt. Add in 4 inches or so of that. I'm prepping the other bags, so I want to get down to about 6 inches of soil. Adirondack red skin, red flesh. 6 inches of in the bottom of the 25-gallon grow bag. 3 decent size seed potato in there. Looks like I snuck a 4th one in. And then a mix of the straw and dirt. Last year's dirt and this last fall's straw. Just a mix. Take that up another 6 inches of that. And then I'm going to do 2 bags of the Yukon Gold, which is going to be about 6 inches of some soil, the seed potato, and then top the next 6 inches with straw / seed potato. Same thing, 6 inches, add the seed potato, dirt and soil, seed potato, 6 inches with seed potato, then dirt and straw, the soil and straw, 2 grow bags of Yukon Gold. Adirondack Blue, Adirondack Red, Sarpo Una, and then kind of a mix. I call it my surprise one. This one, not sure what's in there. I did 1 or 2 of everything left. Little outdoor tasks, as I do every time I go outside, turn the compost heap. Just take a pitchfork and turn the compost heap. And then also, last big thing for this week is to prep the, I have somewhat of a smart home, and I have a controller that I use on my outdoor watering line, that I can use either my iPad or my phone, or set up timer things for automatic watering of the garden, my vegetable garden. So let's take a look at getting the controller set up for this season. As I said, whenever I go out, certainly in fall and spring, I like to turn this about every couple of weeks. Just turn the compost piles. I did some light pruning of the raspberry bush. It appeared to be, you can see what was dead. Just trim that back down. I do chop and drop, which is I take the whatever I'm cutting and just drop it right there. Let that turn into the mulch for the strawberry area. Straighten out some of these that I'll use to help rein in, or at least direct the canes where I want them to go. And then final task, the big task, my Eve smart home watering. Get the batteries in, fresh batteries for the spring. And then the cover on, connect the 2 parts together. And then this is Apple Home. And in Apple Home, I have the app called the, I have the backyard sprinkler set up, where I set it up for 15 minutes. If it's a really hot time, I might do 25 minutes, and I can put water on the garden. I don't know if you can hear that, but click it, you can hear it turn on. You shut it off manually if you want, and you see it shuts off in the app, or use the app to turn it on. You can set it up to go on a timer, or you can manually do it. So outside, attach where I needed to attach, get it all straightened out, and then this allows me to turn on the water for the garden outside on a timer schedule. I can do that from anywhere on the interwebs, remotely. It just feels so good to be outside on a daily basis getting some tasks done. I know that we have some cold weather coming up again. That always happens early. April is up and down, cold, warm, cold, warm. But honestly, it feels great to just be getting outside again. I got potatoes in, been worrying about getting that done. The mushroom spore is going. That's a long run out time. It takes a while for them to establish, the mycelium to establish and whatever, and then they grow out. So good to get those done. The little things, the trimming the raspberries, now that I can see what canes are alive and what year, what a primo and what are second year canes. That feels good. Turning the compost, well, that's even in the middle of winter, once or twice a winter I turn it too, but feels good to just get some of these outdoor tasks done. If you have made it this far, thank you. I couldn't do this without you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe if you find this interesting. That helps me grow, and that helps you grow. Thank you very much.